Welcome everyone to tonight's episode of Dead Talk Live. I'm your host Viz from Walking Dead Now. Our broadcast tonight and every night is simultaneously live streamed to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, starting at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time every day. I want to welcome all our first-time viewers tonight. We hope you can stay with us over the next hour and participate in our viewer interactive show. And a very big thank you to all of our regular viewers. I'm glad everyone is here with me tonight. If you haven't already done so, and you enjoy this broadcast as well as our custom videos, we ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel called Walking Dead Now. For more information on our show, please visit our website located at deadtalklive.com. As always, our producer Marko is going to be handling the text chatting, and I will be talking to you guys live in the air. So, what do you think? What do you guys think of the background? How is everyone doing? Hey, Boar on Instagram, thank you for joining us. I'm doing good, bro. Saz, Nicholas, hello on YouTube. And for our first background with the brand new CGI red screen that I have, yeah, we chose, Walker Karl and Walker Enid. This is an amazing picture. Marko actually found this picture and sent it over to me today, and I'm like, yes, this is going to be our first background. This is going to be our first background. This is an amazing pic. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen it. And I know I saw it a while ago, and he brought it to my attention again today. So thank you, Marko. I love this picture. I hope you guys like it as well. And we're going to be changing up the backgrounds every day. So if you guys want, any particular pictures put up there, just send them on over to me, and I'll be more than happy to put them on there. And Wesley, hello on Instagram. Simon, hello on Instagram. Victoria has joined us on Instagram. Beautiful Disaster has joined us on Instagram. Liz has joined us on Instagram. Sarah Bear, hello Sarah. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. I hope everyone's having a very, very good evening tonight. And after our little break yesterday, and we went with a pretty much non-base topic show last night, just so I can catch my breath after the Michael Cudlitz interview on Thursday, which went great. We are back to business tonight. We are back to talking The Walking Dead. There's a lot of news to cover, a lot of announcements, and, as always, our base topic. On the top of our screen there, you'll see our number. Please feel free to call in at any time you guys want to chat. The number is 718-509-9270 for all our U.S. Viewers out there. And for all of our international viewers, please use Skype. Open up Skype, search for our Skype name, which is Walking Dead Now. Add us to your favorites, and you can use that to make the call, and it's free. Anywhere in the world, you can call in. It is absolutely free if you use Skype. So I'm glad to see everybody with us. Hey, Hard Productions. And Hard Productions, I'm sorry I didn't get to mention this earlier. You mentioned several episodes ago that you were going to debut your new Rick Grimes video. I did see it immediately following the show, and it's an amazing video. And we were just so busy setting up with the Michael Cudlitz interview and so on. I would really like to share your video again, with your permission, of course, and get all our followers to see it, maybe after tonight's show or tomorrow. So with your permission, I would love to share that video, Hard Productions. You did an amazing job. So good work. Good work. Good work. And great, we have your blessings to share it. That is awesome. That is awesome. So let's get caught up on some announcements here. First off, I want to let everybody know that I have been invited to be on this very, very cool panel that is on YouTube. I will be appearing on this panel on this coming Wednesday, June 3rd at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's on the YouTube channel called Gypsy Road. They talk, they have a variety of different guests every time, and they just talk about anything and everything. It's just open, non-scripted, which is what I love. They asked me to join the panel. I very graciously accepted. So I want to thank them for that invite. I'm looking very much forward to it. You can check out their YouTube channel. It is called Gypsy Road. And for all of you viewers on YouTube, watching this on YouTube now, I did put a link in tonight's episode's description on where you can find that channel. And for all our non-YouTube viewers viewing it on our other platforms tonight, you can head on over to our YouTube channel after the show and get the link. If you guys are interested on, seeing that on Wednesday, June 3rd at 2 p.m. So I hope you guys can join us. It should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So in other news, this is very good news. Despite the delayed finale of The Walking Dead, The Walking Dead is experiencing a resurgence in ratings. That's because, well, first of all, it's been an incredible season. This is going to definitely go down as at least in one of my top 4 or 5 best seasons. And I'm so looking forward to this finale. It's going to be epic. It's going to be absolutely, absolutely epic. But they are enjoying a resurgence, and that is just so extremely rare in the ratings category after a show like The Walking Dead, where back in its peak, it was averaging like around 38 million viewers a week. I mean, that's just phenomenal. That's just unheard of numbers. And of course, it's weaned down. It's in its 10th season. It's not unusual. All TV shows go through this, they all go through this, up and down, well, mostly down thing. What makes this so unique is that a resurgence in ratings after 10 seasons is extremely rare. Doesn't happen very often. Ratings usually go down for a show and they stay down. No, but The Walking Dead is experiencing a resurgence in ratings. And what this delayed finale has done is that it's given a lot of people the chance to catch up on season 10, even season 9 or 8, whenever they stopped watching. They I guess, however, might have seen an episode on season 10 and say, wow, this is actually pretty good again. It's always been good, but to them it's like, wow, it's pretty good again. And they went back and probably binged and got caught up, and the ratings for season 10 are phenomenal. They're not back at 38 million. They're not even anywhere close. We're not going to see those numbers again, and if we do, I'll be totally shocked. But it is still considered to be the number 1 scripted drama on cable TV. So that's very, very good news. That's very good news. Hey, Summer. Summer has started the series all over again. How you doing, Summer? Saz writes, cool, well done. I'll be sure to watch it. And our Instagram people, sorry, with this new setup with video, you guys see all the different places I'm looking. This is what I've been doing before I was even on the video, multitasking. I mean, this is the pinnacle of multitasking. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 windows open up on my computer, not including monitoring the chat. So I want to get to everybody's comments. DJ writes, would make it good is merging fear completely that is Rick rolling with that other group with the helicopter. Yeah, we're actually going to get to that in a bit. We are actually going to get to that in a bit. Just hang on there 1 second, and I have some more announcements to go through as well. Now I want to thank Ismail. I think Ismail is. Hey, Fan20. Fan20 is joining us on Instagram. Hello. Junior has joined us on Instagram. I want to thank our very loyal and regular viewer, Ismail, for sending me this story. Now, according to Screen Rant, the main reason the Walking Dead movies are taking so long seems to be the challenges of them translating the format and the characters of what has been a long-running TV show into a feature film. So for starters, in order for the film to be a box office success, it can't really rely on the audiences having seen all 10 seasons of The Walking Dead. So the script needs to be accessible to complete newcomers. And just imagine how daunting that is. We take it for granted, all us fans, that we're going to go in there, we know exactly what's going on. Now they have to write a script for a movie so that someone who has never watched an episode will go in to that movie theater and not feel like, did I miss something? And that's extremely difficult to do. You know, it's very difficult. And I don't know how they're going to pull it off. So that's part of what's causing the delay. And then it also goes on to say, it needs to be accessible to newcomers. Gimple offered an update earlier this year that the script is still being refined and that it was an incredibly deliberate process. He also said that the story and the product aspects were in play, which suggests that there are challenges involved in making it fit with the other corners of the Walking Dead universe. So these writers, hey Mills Faves, thank you for joining us. How you doing, Mills? I want to give a shout out to Mills Faves. She has a great Walking Dead fan page that is still pretty new. So Mills on Instagram, can you give me the name of the Walking Dead page again on Instagram, and I'll give it a big shout out. I didn't forget you about Mills, and I'm glad you've joined us tonight. Give me the name of your new Walking Dead Instagram fan page, and I will make sure that I get as much people out there to check it out. I love when people put up new fan pages and are just starting out. We all started out somewhere, and there's always that, great potential out there. DJ on Instagram writes, I'm just sad the comics didn't get followed. Well, yeah, I understand that, DJ, and we're going back to Mills Faves. By the way, this is a fan page too, and the fan page is at Walking Dead. Let me make sure I read that correctly. The fan page is at Walking Dead AILLY. Okay, Walking Dead Alley AILLY. You're welcome. You're welcome, Mills. Thank you for joining us, Zambika. So going back to DJ, where he says on Instagram that he's sad that the comic books didn't get followed. Well, if they did, there would have been no surprises. That's a big con. If they followed everything to the letter as they did in the comic books, we would know what was going to happen. So they needed to break away, and they kept a lot of aspects in the comics. If they stuck straight to the comics, DJ, we would not have had Daryl. Daryl was not in the comics. Nerdiest Geek writes, but then we wouldn't have Daryl. There you go. Nerdiest Geek just brought up the same thing. We wouldn't have had Daryl because I believe, Daryl was not in the comics. And that's the point I was just trying to make. Mills writes, will there be a season 12? I absolutely think so, yes. Yes. Now, will it be the final season? It might. It might. I don't think they've come to a decision on when this show is going to stop. But there will definitely be at least a season 12. Absolutely. No doubt about it. DJ agrees, true. He didn't look at it that way. Marko also writes there will be a season 12. DPASAD has joined us on Instagram. DJ also writes, Daryl is the man. Mills writes, when do you think season 10 is coming to Netflix? Usually Mills, the previous season hits Netflix when the new season's about to start. And I've said this before on this show, the new season, it's still on pause. So we're not going to get an October release for season 11. I think we're going to get a summer release for, I think next year they're going to flip. The Walking Dead is going to premiere in June in season 11, and Fear of the Walking Dead might take its spot in the fall. That's my opinion. That's not fact. That's just my opinion. Nicholas on YouTube writes, yep, and especially I didn't like the way how Rick died. Rick is not dead. Nicholas, Rick is very much alive. Rick is not dead. Oh, you're talking about the comic books. Sorry, if you're talking about the comic books, well, you knew the comic books would end with Rick dying, you know? Yeah, sorry, I thought you were talking about the TV show there for a second. I realized you were talking about the comics. And, I mean, Karl is alive, you know, his son is alive. And I think that gave a lot of satisfaction to the comic book readers, that Karl is like the last one standing. TV show, he's not, obviously. You know, Karl married Sophia in the comic books. They had children together. Michonne is also still alive. So, Summer writes, I thought they followed the comics pretty close. We wouldn't have Michonne if they followed the comics. I meant Rishonne. That's right. Rick and Michonne did not hook up in the comic books. So, that is true. A lot of people joining us on Instagram. Mills writes, because I need to wait a lot for season 10 on Netflix. Mills, you're in Europe, correct? I think I know which country you're in. I just don't want to say it publicly if you don't want it made public. But I believe you're in Europe. So, yeah, it sucks. Yeah, Mills is from Europe. And it sucks that, you know, in other countries, Netflix releases just vary and depend on which country you live in, licensing agreements, and on and on and on. A lot of stuff that it just boggles my mind, at least, when it comes to digital rights and all that licensing crap that these companies have to sign, and it's totally confusing. DJ writes, nope, it was Rick and Andrea in the comics. Speaking of Andrea Edwards, 1968, has joined us on Instagram. Thank you for joining us, Andrea. Gypsy Girl, 27, has joined us on Instagram. Chloe Stars has joined us on Instagram. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Mills writes, I am from Europe, and will Rick come back in season 11? No. Sorry, but short answer, no. By the way, I don't want to hear any spoils in this question, but is he coming back? No, he's not. No. I hope that doesn't spoil it, but I mean, that's not a confirmed fact, but I don't see a chance in hell in him coming back in season 11. Hey, Andrea, waving back at you. Now I can actually wave and you guys can see it. So hi, Andrea. Mandy Gibbs has joined us. Mandy Gibbs, 1974, has joined us on Instagram. Marko also confirms Andrew Lincoln will not return to the show. And right after he left the show, if you guys remember, Scott Gimple was on Talking Dead, and he went on to explain exactly what's going to happen. That's when he first told us about the movies. And Chris Hardwick asked him, you know, flat out, is this the end of Rick Grimes? And Scott Gimple replied with, this is the end of Rick Grimes on the TV show. He's not coming back to the TV show. Now, this was, you know, a good year and a half ago, more than that now. That was right after season 9, episode 5, when he left. You know, anything can change. I heard rumors of him possibly coming back for the series finale, whenever that may happen. So who knows? DJ Triple Play writes, it would make sense if he does, being Michonne went to look for him. T1 writes, why though? Because he's going to be in the movies. He's going to be in the movies. And Summer writes on YouTube, Scott said the movies was going to be on AMC. I wonder what changed. I talked about that a while ago. Hey, Gaming Future on YouTube, thank you for joining us. He said it was going to be on AMC. He actually made a very big point, and this goes back to the point that things change. He said it was going to be on AMC. It was going to be done in complete, like a movie style type. It's just not going to theaters. Now, soon after, that changed. Universal Pictures came into the picture, and they, I guess, bought the rights to the movies. But then, very recently, a dispute erupted between AMC and Universal, because Universal started bypassing movie theaters because of the coronavirus pandemic. AMC was very publicly upset, and they did not keep it a secret. They said they expect Universal to honor the rights of the industry standard of allotted time between movie theater release and digital Blu-ray release. Verbatim. I think I remembered that correctly. So, but yeah, Summer, you're right. Gimple did say it was coming to AMC, and that changed. It was announced that Universal bought it, and now they're in dispute. And now, well, we don't know if it's going to be released on AMC or Universal. Either way, I don't care. As long as the movies come out, which they are, whether I watch it on AMC or I go to the movies, that's fine with me. AMC or the movies is completely fine with me. So, Haydenix has joined us on YouTube, on Instagram. Raby06 has joined us on Instagram. Jay on Instagram, JW Musician writes, how many movies are going to be made? Jay, there's going to be 3. There's going to be 3 Rick Grimes movies, but there are talks of more movies like with Daryl. Mills also writes, because if he isn't come back, that ending sucks because it doesn't make sense. Well, we can't really judge that right now, Mills, because we have to see how the movies go. It might make complete sense after we watch the movies. After we watch the movies and we see what happens, it might make complete sense that he doesn't come back to the TV show. Zambika37 writes, can't wait for the movies to come out. So, yeah. So that's where that stands. So let's move on to some more stuff here. Okay, so that story came to us from Ismail, which I don't see him on here today, so his alarm probably didn't go off again. He sets his alarm every day to wake up and watch this show. DJ writes, how many fans in here own the Negan and Daryl lamps? I don't. I would love to have them. T1 writes, did Andrew want to leave the show or something? Yeah, I think short answer is yes. It was, when we had Abraham on this show a couple nights ago, everyone says the same thing. Filming this show is extremely grueling. It takes they start filming in March or April, and it goes straight through till November. And they're filming in the dead of heat in Georgia. They're outdoors all the time. It's humid, it's hot. The scheduling is grueling. They're out there 16 hours a day, well into the night sometimes. Go back to their, homes or hotels or wherever they're staying and come back the next day and do it all over again. and he did it for 9 years, and he was commuting back and forth from the UK, and he just wanted you know I understand. So instead of them killing Rick, they offered him a movie deal, a very lucrative movie deal. One, like they say in The Godfather, they made him an offer he could not refuse. And he did not refuse it. Thank God. Or else he would have left the show and that would have been the end of Rick Grimes. They probably would have killed him. In fact, they were even discussing, before the whole movie deal agreement was reached, they were discussing him leaving at the end of season 8. Part of the draft scripts for the end of All Out War was Negan actually killing Rick. So that came directly from Andrew Lincoln when Yvette Nicole Brown interviewed him. And also, I don't know if it was the Yvette Nicole Brown interview or in an article I read afterwards, but I know Andrew Lincoln himself has said they were trying to come up how to write him off the show before the whole movies thing became a reality. And one of the ideas they were passing around is having Negan kill Rick. So, Mills writes, when are they coming out? They haven't even started shooting. Everything's on pause because of this pandemic. And as I just said, they're still refining the script. They want to make the script so anybody who's never even watched a single episode of The Walking Dead can come in and completely understand what's going on. So, but they haven't even started shooting yet. Everything's on pause. Not just for The Walking Dead, but for any film, TV show. Guys, don't expect your favorite TV shows to be starting in September. That's just not going to happen. The rest of this year, and it's going to spill over into next year. It's going to take a while for everything to return back to normal. It's going to take a while. Sosa has joined us on Instagram. Coach has joined us on Instagram. Keston Hero has joined us on Instagram. DJ Triple Play has given us a big thumbs up. Saz and Summer are like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but you guys are rocking it over there on YouTube. Saz does have the Negan lamp. Oh, there you go. That doesn't surprise me, Saz, that you have the Negan lamp. And Summer writes, Saz, you rock. Saz does rock. Saz is like the ultimate, fan. Ultimate fan. And she's also a part of our show. I'm very proud to say that. She's our official contributor to our show, Dead Talk Live. Yeah, Saz. I was going to snatch you up, Saz, right away. I wasn't going to let anybody else get your knowledge. That's one of the best decisions I ever made. Mills also writes, will only Rick Grimes of The Walking Dead be in the movies? Oh, no. Carol is going to be in the movies. One of the things I was going to announce today, Jodie is going to be in the movies too, which is no secret. Yeah. The question would have been if she wasn't in the movies, especially if she's the one that saved his life and airlifted him out of there. But, I forgot all the names, so maybe Saz and Marko can help me out on who's already been confirmed. Carol was recently confirmed. Jadis is going to be in it. And like 3 or 4 more that are escaping me right now. Nerdiest Geek writes, oh, so sweet. Maddie's joined us on Instagram. Hey, Maddie, thank you for joining us. 2 Maddies, Maddie Perez and Maddie Aguero. So that's kind of cool. Dial Nichols has joined us on Instagram. Marko writes, bet it's a flashback. Yeah, a lot of these characters that are on the TV show, a lot of them have been confirmed to be in the movies. Like Shane. Shane is going to be in the movies, and he's going to be a flashback. How they're going to write it in, I don't know. But I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that we get to find out more about Rick Grimes pre-apocalypse. He's one of the characters that we really know very little about. We know he was a cop. We know that him and Laurie's marriage was sort of on the rocks. Well, beyond that, there's not a whole bunch more. So Mills writes also, and I have another question. Is Maggie coming back in season 10 or 11? Maggie's going to be in this next episode, the season 10 finale. She's going to be in the season 10 finale, and she's going to be back as a regular. And I'm very excited to have Lauren Cohen back. I love Lauren Cohen. I'm so glad we're getting Maggie back. I know a lot of people are upset that she left. I don't blame her one bit. I'm glad the writers didn't kill Maggie off. And, they saw might be a chance of her coming back. And I'm so psyched to see her. Maggie's going to be a big tie-in to this new community that we're going to meet, the Commonwealth. I think while her and Georgie were out roaming the countryside, she's already met the Commonwealth. I think the masked ninja person that we see in the trailer for the season finale, I think that might be Mercer, a character we have not met yet from the Commonwealth. This finale that we're going to get, we're going to see a lot of new faces. They're going to end season 10 directly tying into season 11 and on into the Commonwealth. Summer writes, I wonder if Laurie will make an appearance. As a flashback? That's a good question. So Saz confirms that Norman Reedus is going to be in the movie, Daryl. Denai Guerrera, Michonne. J.D. Morgan, Negan. And Kaylee Fleming, which is Judith. So Mills, those are the characters that have already been confirmed to be in the movie. The one I'm really curious about is what role is Negan going to play in these movies? I mean, what role is Negan going to play in these movies? I mean, I have no idea. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm just super psyched to see, And if Laurie comes back, that'll be cool. There has been a lot of debate amongst fans if Laurie's really dead. Let's say she wasn't. What would be the point of bringing her back to the TV show? Her whole family's dead. Rick is dead. Judith is still alive, but Judith won't know who she is. Karl is dead. Rick is dead. Shane died before she even left. She's going to come back, and except for Daryl and Carol and Michonne, no one else is going to really know who she is. So it doesn't really make a whole bunch of sense of her coming back to the TV show. And besides, I think she's dead. I don't like how they wrote her off. I really don't like how they wrote her off. Apparently, we know that supposedly Karl shot her so she wouldn't turn during childbirth. And then Rick goes back to look for her. And if you guys remember, Rick finds not the bullet casing, but he actually finds the bullet. But Laurie's body is gone. Now, there's a walker slumped down in the center of that hallway with his belly distended is kind of an understatement. So they're trying to give us the theory that this walker ate her. Now, just going from what we know about zombies don't eat bones. Even they don't eat bones. And in fact, it's very rare, as we've seen on The Walking Dead, and if you just like zombie movies in general, once they start eating you, it's like there's a time limit. If you've been dead after so many minutes, I guess they're not attracted to you as for food anymore. That's an assumption. But anyway, so there's this walker slumped down with his belly looking like he has 4 basketballs in it. And it doesn't make sense. He didn't eat her bones. Her body was completely gone. There was no bones. There was blood. And then Rick actually found a bullet that supposedly Karl put in her head. It was just laying there, like Karl shot the floor instead of shooting Laurie. Because we didn't actually see him on screen shooting Laurie. We heard the gun go off as Maggie was taking Judith and leaving the room. So that's a big question mark, and it's a big plot hole that I really thought after she died, it was going to get addressed in some way. And Hard Productions also agrees. I hated the way they killed Laurie off. You know? Yeah, I agree with you. And Summer writes that's a good point. So as far as Laurie goes, I don't like how they wrote her off. I don't like how they just left that hanging. Where did her body go? Walkers don't eat bones. Her body just disappeared. A lot of question marks we don't have answers to. So Mills also writes, before I watched The Walking Dead, I had a talk with Stephen Ogg Simon. That's cool. She had a talk with Stephen Ogg and Alana Masterson on Comic-Con. And they spoiled the end of Tara. So they told you about Tara before she actually died on the show? That's unheard of. That's pretty cool, though. Marko writes, unless she was dragged off by walkers. They don't really do that. You know, Marko also writes, she could have turned and walked off. True. So far, that's the only plausible theory I have heard so far. So Mills also writes, yeah. Stephen Ogg, who played Simon, and Alana Masterson, who is Tara, told Mills here that they were going to kill her off. She had a very cool talk with them. If you got any pictures with them, Mills, after the show, make sure to send them on over to me on Instagram. I would love to see any pictures you might have. I don't know if, Mills, if you saw the pictures that Saz has taken over the last couple of years on her conventions that she's been with. She's practically met the entire cast. So I don't know if you've seen them or not. Sandra_Carol writes, is Rick coming back? Rick is coming back for the movie, Sandra. He's coming back to the movies. He's not coming back to the TV show. So let's see, what other tidbits do we have? Jadis, I already talked about. She has been confirmed. No surprise there. The big surprise would have been if she's not in the movie. And I found another interesting article, which is buried somewhere amongst my windows. Let me find it for you guys. Okay. So the title of this article, it's 10 interesting behind-the-scenes facts about the zombie drama. So I'm just going to read these off to you. And the ones that we've never really talked about, I'm just going to kind of just mention them in passing. The first one is what Marko pointed out to us a couple of days ago. Frank Darabont, who was the original showrunner, he had pitched the idea to NBC, but the network wanted it to be a zombie crime procedural. Now, someone please explain to me what that is. What is a zombie crime procedural? Because I have no idea. It says this is probably hard to believe, but when the former showrunner Frank Darabont first sought to make a TV adaptation of Robert Kirkman's comic series The Walking Dead, he didn't get a whole lot of biters, at least not with the idea of a group of survivors in the middle of a zombie outbreak. One network in particular had some pretty offbeat ideas for the show, with one of them being something that actually sounds fun in a sad way. Talking to Variety magazine, producer Gail Ann Hurd revealed that when Darabont presented the first script to NBC, the response was, do there have to be zombies in it? duh. But NBC did not want to put the zombies in The Walking Dead. Gail Ann Hurd went on to add that NBC then asked the former showrunner if there was a way to turn the show into a procedural that followed two protagonists solving a zombie crime of the week. What the? Are you kidding me? Zombie crime of the week? So what they're saying is they wanted to take The Walking Dead and make it like a whole bunch of these cop shows, which I enjoy, by the way, but make it about a zombie crime once a week. What? And no. I'm glad Darabont did not go for that. I mean, beyond that, I don't know what else to say. I really don't. Sandra Carroll writes, is going to be a movie? Yes, Sandra. There's going to be 3 movies. 3 movies. Mills Faves also writes, I send you a video of me filming Alana and Steven at Comic-Con. Awesome. I'm going to look at that afterwards. Do I have your blessing to repost it on my Instagram? Let me know if I can repost it. Theron Lyles writes, Law and Order Undead Task Force. That's funny, Theron. Law and Order Undead Task Force. That's Theron_Lyles on Instagram. Thank you, Mills. I will take a look at that video and I will repost it on my Instagram after the show tonight. If not by tonight, tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know what NBC was thinking. So moving on. I've never really heard of this part, but apparently Norman Reedus initially had a chip on his shoulder, but he used it to fuel his character. Unlike most of the characters in the original cast of The Walking Dead, Norman Reedus' character of Daryl Dixon never appeared in the comic series. On top of that, Reedus didn't appear on the AMC series until later than the rest of the Central cast. What, like 3 episodes? Big deal. Which made things a little awkward for the future star of the show. Sitting down with Sam Jones on Off the Camera Show, Norman Reedus explained that he took his fear and nervousness of joining the cast that had been working together in pre-production for nearly a year before he came on, stating, I assumed I would be there a few episodes, maybe an episode or 2. I came in and I say these lines and I was feeling a little nervous about it, and I turn it around and the whole cast, there's 15 people looking at me like, what are you going to do? And judging me, and I immediately got a little chip on my shoulder and felt like, oh God, they hate me. And I started talking out of the side of my eyes. I was talking and didn't really connect, like, you hate me? I hate you too. And that's how I found that character. That's what fueled him to play Daryl the way he played Daryl. So, I didn't know that. I think that's kind of cool. I didn't know that he came in episode 3 in season 1. I didn't know that the whole cast before that was meeting for a whole year. What? They were meeting for a whole year just to discuss the first 2 episodes before Daryl came on the scene? That's completely new to me. Zambika's leaving us. Alright, Zambika, good night. Hope you get a good night's rest. And we'll hopefully see you again here tomorrow. Thank you for joining us, Zambika. Your support is always very well appreciated. Thank you so much. So let's see what YouTube. Summer writes, didn't that zombie eat Lori? Yeah, we talked about that. I don't think so. Summer also writes, Lori's stomach was wide open, so I'm pretty sure she died. Yeah. That would have been horrible and probably only lasted 1 season, unless it was on the CW maybe. Summer writes about the whole cop thing, the zombie cop drama. Hey, welcome back, Gaming Future. So, let's move on to the next thing. There was 10 things that they pointed out. The first one about the NBC thing was ridiculous. The second thing about Daryl was interesting. So I don't know how many of you guys know, but Frank Darabont is the one that got the show on TV. He was fired very soon afterwards, and they are still in lawsuits about that. I'm not going to get into that. That's just, let them work that out. It doesn't affect the show. But it does go on to say he has filed not one, but 2 lawsuits against AMC. So the next thing is Jeffrey Demunn, who played Dale, he asked for his character to be killed off. It isn't every day that an actor on one of the most popular shows asked to have his character killed off prematurely. But that's exactly what Jeffrey Demunn, who played Dale on the first 2 seasons of The Walking Dead, did in light of Frank Darabont's dismissal in 2011. I did not know that. Sitting down with Cleveland.com in 2018, the veteran actor and longtime Darabont collaborator in The Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile, and The Mist, had this to say about his character early departure. Dale's death was my decision. I was furious about how Frank Darabont was pushed out of the show. I spent a week not being able to take a full breath. And then I realized, oh, I can quit. So I called him and said, it's a zombie show. Kill me. I don't want to do this anymore. It was an immense relief to me. There you guys have it. Dale wanted to go. You know, he was a big Darabont supporter, and he didn't like that Darabont got fired, and he wanted off the show. So that's news to me as well. Probably news to Marko. I don't know if Saz knew that or not. Saz, did you know that James Demunn asked to be killed off the show? That's news to me. Very unusual. Theron, that's sad. He's a great actor. Theron, did you take your name from Game of Thrones? I'm just curious. Just let me know if you did or not. Nerdiest Geek writes, I learned so much on these live streams. Well, thank you, Nerdiest Geek. That's what we're here for. We're here to share. I love reading what you... I learned so much on these live shows. I learned so much on these live shows from all you guys. So we're all learning. Marko writes, I knew he wanted out, but not about Frank. Theron writes, a family name. You're thinking Theon. Well, yeah, I know Theon, but Theron, I don't know if it was a Game of Thrones reference or not. So I just had to ask. Yeah, but going back on finding out information, we all share in here. And yeah, trust me, I don't come in this show. I'm not Saz. Saz knows everything. I've yet to find a fact that Saz has not known. And she writes on YouTube, yep, her saved Herschel took his death at that time. Gaming Future, I've added you on Skype. Oh, shoot. Speaking of Skype, okay, I haven't missed any calls. I've had the window closed. I was afraid I might have missed some calls. Let me pin this window so it doesn't go in the back. Guys, if you want to call, please feel free to call me. 718-509-9270. Inside the United States, outside the U.S. Use Skype, search for Walking Dead Now, add us to your favorites, and we'll be added to your contacts on Skype. It's completely free if you use Skype and you're international. T1 writes, hey, it's Tristan from last night. I watched Silence of the Lambs. It was awesome. Silence of the Lambs was amazing. Theron writes, a great movie. Marko writes, great movie. Like I said, Marko, back me up on this, but I know Anthony Hopkins won Best Actor for it. Didn't it also win Best Picture? And what year was it? Was it back in 92, 94 that it came out and won the Oscar? And didn't it also make the break the record as being like the first horror movie to win Best Picture? Marko writes it was 1991. Yes, And what wasn't it like the first horror movie ever to win Best Picture? And some people may object to me calling Silence of the Lambs a horror movie. It was everything. It was a drama. It was a psychological thriller. It falls under a lot of different genre, but at the end of the day, it was a horror movie. For me, it's a horror movie. And Marko confirms it won 5 Oscars, including Best Picture. Sandra Carroll writes, do you know when is going to be on the movie's date year? You mean the Rick Grimes movies? If you're talking about the Rick Grimes movies, we don't know when. They haven't even started filming yet. And Jodie Foster won Best Actress, Marko also adds. So Jodie Foster won Best Actress. Anthony Hopkins won Best Actor. Very well deserved on both of them. It won Best Picture. So Theron also writes, Anthony Hopkins would have made a great governor or Shane. Wow, he's such a good actor. He would have. He could play anything, but I'm just thinking about the age thing. The age thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, Mark also writes, too old. I mean, there's not a role Anthony Hopkins can't play. I love Anthony Hopkins. Hey, Saz, isn't it Sir Anthony Hopkins? Wasn't he knighted by the Queen? I think he was. I think it's Sir Anthony Hopkins. But he's an amazing actor. So he could do anything. But the whole age thing, I don't think it would have worked out for The Walking Dead. Marko says, yes, he was knighted. Theron also writes, yes, he was knighted. Mills Faze writes, that video that I sent isn't so long. It's just 50 seconds. I filmed 10 minutes, but I didn't see the whole 10 minutes, just 50 seconds. So if you want that repost, the video of Alana and Steven, you can. Mills, if you go to my YouTube channel, I have instructions on how to use Dropbox to send me, like Dropbox or pCloud, to send me links or videos that are big in size and so on. So if you actually have the full 10 minutes, my Instagram account, I have the ability to post up to 1 hour videos on my Instagram account and then YouTube and all those. I'm going to repost it everywhere. So, I mean, thank you for the 50-second clip. But if you have like the whole clip, 10 minutes, I would love to take a look at it. And I would love to repost it on all our social networks. I mean, you know, it's going to be available to over 105,000 people that may want to see it. It's going to get a lot of views and a lot of likes. So, you know, just go to our YouTube channel, look under the description of any one of our videos, or go to the About page on our YouTube channel, and I give specific instructions on how to share videos with us, how to submit them to us. So let's move on. Dale wanted off the show. Chandler Riggs' father was not pleased about his son's early departure from the show. Well, he's not the only one. Carl Grimes is and was a major part of the Walking Dead comics and television adaptation, so fans were surprised when the character was killed off in Season 8. None were more surprised than Riggs' dad, William Riggs, who took to Facebook in February 2019 to call out former showrunner Scott Gimple for reportedly misleading his son into thinking that he would be fine with the young actor attending UGA, that's University of Georgia, for college, and that he would be on the show for at least another 3 seasons before the following happened. It was the middle of June. His 18th birthday was coming up in a couple of weeks. 5 episodes were filmed, and they asked for my wife and I to both be in a meeting with Chandler, which was a little odd. It made me nervous, but he and his manager assured me it was to plan for filming schedule, etc. Scott Gimple was the only one there, and he told us that Carl would be gone in a few episodes. Chandler was absolutely devastated. Oh man, that breaks my heart. I was disappointed Scott had been dishonest with a 17-year-old making his life decisions and waiting to tell us. Oh man, I wish I hadn't read that. That sucks. I mean, I have a 17-year-old. And that just fucking sucks. I did not know that. I don't know what to say. I just feel bad. I mean, he picked his college. He probably had his choice of any pick of college anywhere in the world. He picked his college in Georgia so he can be on the show, and they kill him off. I don't know what to say. Marko writes, I think it was because of money, because he was an adult and legally you can ask for more money. Yeah, but they have money. I mean, I don't want to knock the show. I've always thought that he was written off as a way for them explaining why Rick spared Negan. You know? So I don't know what to say. That's so sad. Fabro CR2121 is giving us a big thumbs up. So everybody went silent after I read that. You guys, I want you guys to share your feelings on what I just read. For me as a dad, and 17-year-olds, Chandler Riggs was like 8 when he started this show, and he grew up on the show. And like I said, I always assumed they wrote him off because they needed a plausible explanation as to why Rick spared Negan. Sazchick writes, Chandler tweeted, leaving the decade that same way I entered it, unemployed. It sucked. BTS123 BTS, hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining us on YouTube. Marko writes, 20 million a season. He did not ask for 20 million a season. Do you know that for a fact? Mark also writes, I think Norman is the only one collecting a big paycheck, but even Norman's not collecting 20 million a season. Norman Reedus is one of the highest paid TV actors, as he should be. But no, 20 million? I don't think any TV actor gets 20 million a year. Sandra writes, I thought he wanted to go to uni. Theron writes, the producer might not have even known. Kirkman has final say on who stays and goes. I don't think that's true. Marko writes, he's not unemployed. He will get work. Oh, yeah. I mean, Chandler Riggs is, first of all, he's an amazing actor. He's a very good-looking young man. He's got his whole life ahead of him. The Walking Dead gave him his big break. I'm sure movie studios, TV studios are going to be banging down his door for a long time to come. Mark also writes, why not the cast of Friends were making $1 million an episode? Yes, they were. Going back to the 90s, that was a lot of money. They were making $1 million an episode, and that was only for 30-minute episodes. And yeah, it was about 20 episodes per season. So you're right. My bad on that one. Friends was just hugely popular. So anyway, that story kind of bummed me out. It bummed me out. Moving on, the show's producers took extraordinary steps to prevent leaks revealing Negan's victims. One of the most intense scenes in all of... We just got cut off. Oh my god, I went over the hour mark. And Instagram cut us off. Hold on. I can get them back on. Guys, bear with me here 1 second. Let me get our Instagram peeps back on. That sucks. I lost time. I lost track of time. So guys, bear with me 1 second. I can't believe we hit an hour. I can't believe we went into an hour and I lost complete track of time. So let me get our Instagram peeps back on the air with us. Hold on, Instagram takes about the longest to connect, so give me a second here. Alright. Save. Let's see if we can get them back on. Instagram peeps, are you back? Come back, Instagram peeps. They cut me off. I went over an hour. I lost track of time. I'm having so much fun. I lost track of time. I'm so sorry, guys. Hey, Nerdy is Geek. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Tara Christie. I went over an hour and I lost track of time. We're having so much fun here. And Instagram cut us off. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Hey, Sandra. I'm glad most of you guys have come back. Gaming Future writes, can I call you on Skype? Absolutely, Gaming Future. Give me a call. Fleming Chastity. Hey. I'm hoping to get our peeps back so I can at least say goodbye to them properly before Instagram cut us off. They have a 1 hour limit. Yeah, Nerdy Geek. I hope the rest of them come back. I don't want them to, it's that damn Instagram 1 hour limit. No other social media has such a short limit. Roman has joined us on Instagram. We have a call. Hello, you're on Dead Talk Live with Viz. How are you doing?
Hello?
Yes, just turn down the broadcast volume that you're listening to the show on. Just turn it down because there's a 10-second delay, and then you can talk to me on the phone.
Alright.
Alright, so what's your name?
My name is Jake.
Hey, Jake. So what's on your mind?
I just wanted to ask you some questions about Walking Dead, I guess.
Okay, go ahead. We're all here to answer them for you.
Alright, my first question is, on one of your live streams, you made a point about the ninja, something about this ninja thing, and I thought about it, and I thought, because there's loads of actors and casting about that, I thought there might be a twist, like I said in your comment. There might be a twist in it, there might be a backflash or something. Someone having a memory about that one character who's going to be the ninja. So yeah.
So wait a minute. So you think the ninja itself is a flashback?
Yeah.
All right, so you don't think it's, because, trailers, it could very well be. When trailers are put together, they're very deceptive. So you think that whole ninja, where, they make it look in the trailer that he's coming in there and he's helping Alden and Aaron get out of their jam with the Whisperers, but you're saying that you think it might be a flashback of some other time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's plausible. I personally feel that it's someone from the Commonwealth. I think it's someone from the Commonwealth. But your guess is as good as mine. I have no validation behind that, and your guess is as good as mine. So, what are your other questions?
My next one is, why do you think they will be continuing making other series and movies about The Walking Dead?
Because The Walking Dead is more than just that one show. and I think they, I don't know if they had this in mind when they started filming the series back in, when it came out in 2010. But as you know,
Yeah.
it became so hugely popular, and we got Fear the Walking Dead. Now we're getting The Walking Dead World Beyond. We're getting the Rick Grimes movies. There is rumors that Daryl's going to get a movies. And what I stated also a couple of episodes ago was that long after the Walking Dead original TV show does air its final episode, the Walking Dead universe is going to be with us for a very long time to come.
Yeah.
Hollywood wise, executives, brass tacks, it's a moneymaker. It's a moneymaker.
Yeah.
And they're not going to pass that up. They're not going to pass that up. And fans
No.
love it, Fans love it.
Mm.
And I love it. And, you love it. And we all love it. And we're going to, keep watching it. And we're going to watch the spin offs. And hopefully they're going to be really great. And so on. Sorry, hold on one second. BTS123 writes, is it called Skype on iPhone? Yeah, it's an app. Open up the App Store on your iPhone and just do a search for Skype. It's a free app, but you need to have a Microsoft account. But it's free. We're not going to stay on the air much longer, guys. I can't do another hour. I just wanted to get back on because I didn't like how Instagram cut us off and their damn 1 hour limit. But what are your other questions?
Who is your favorite character from The Walking Dead?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Rick Grimes. I love Rick Grimes. I would be disappointed, in the earlier seasons. There would be episodes where Rick was not in them. And that's because of character building. They would focus on a pair of other characters, whether it be a flashback or whether it be, building up to a character story on what's about to happen. And anyway, Rick Grimes would not be in an episode. And
Yeah.
I always remember being just disappointed in the episodes that Rick Grimes was not on. I always felt disappointed that Rick was not on that episode. But yeah. I love them all. I love what Negan has become right now. I love Melissa McBride, who plays Carol. I love Norman Reedus, who plays Daryl. I love Cassidy McClincy, who plays Lydia. I love Samantha Morton, who plays Alpha. The good guys, the bad guys. And the bad guys, the antagonists, if you really hated them, that means the actors did an amazing job. They They are masters of their craft because you were supposed to hate them. They were supposed to invoke those feelings in you. So, who's your favorite character?
My favorite character would actually be Paul, the Jesus,
Paul Rovia. Paul Rovia.
Yeah.
Paul Rovia. Oh, I love Paul Rovia and Jesus. When he was taken out in that cemetery by the Whisperers, I think everyone's heart just dropped. But anyway, thank you so much for calling into the show. And those were some great questions that you had.
Thank you.
Thank you, and I hope you continue to watch our show.
I will.
All right, take care, Jake.
Hey, you too.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, well, that was Jake. I don't know if every one of our Instagram viewers got to come back on. Maybe they thought I didn't come back on. But I was not going to, end tonight's episode without saying goodnight to everyone properly. Thank you to everyone for joining me tonight on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. This show is on every night at 9. Starts at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Like I said in the beginning, if you guys want to support us, head on over to our YouTube channel, which is called Walking Dead Now, and subscribe to our channel. Even if you don't choose to watch this show on YouTube, No, thank you, Saz. Thank you for being such a loyal viewer and contributor to our show. Yeah, so guys, head on over to our YouTube channel if you want to support us. Subscribe to our channel, which is called Walking Dead Now. Let me bring up some contact information. If you guys want to contact either me or Marko, my email is viz@deadtalklive.com. I'm open to getting WhatsApp messages at 650-308-4023. Marko, our producer's email, is marko@deadtalklive.com. And his WhatsApp number is 786-749-8257. Again, this show is simultaneously streamed every night to Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We also have a podcast available. The name of the podcast is called Stay Walking. You can find it. You can find the podcast on any of your favorite podcast clients. If you have an iPhone or an iOS device, that's probably the best one to view it at because it is a video podcast. And if you want to watch the video along with the audio, apparently Apple is the only one that offers video podcasts. So if you have an iPhone, iPad, a Mac, just check out our podcast. It's called Stay Walking. And if you go to the description in any one of our YouTube channels, any one of our YouTube videos, we have a whole bunch of links. Don't forget this Wednesday, as I mentioned in the beginning of this show, I'm appearing on the YouTube channel called Gypsy Road on a panel that they're having. I was invited to. That's going to be this coming Wednesday, June 3rd at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's it for me. Hope you guys subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I will be back on the air. Both me and Marko will be back here tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And until then, guys, stay walking.